A happy morning, everyone. This is N Vaishnavi, MBA second year. I welcome all the dignitaries, faculty members, and students on behalf of AMS School of Informatics to the webinar on e-waste management. I now invite our director, Professor K. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Ma Vaishnavi. Very good morning to everyone present over here, and warm greetings. I heartily welcome the speaker of the day, Ms. Rashmi Joshi ji, faculty, students, for today's webinar on e-waste management. So, as you know, this is being organized by the Department of Business Management, Andhra Mahila Sabha School of Informatics. Andhra Mahila Sabha School of Informatics, Hyderabad. It's a unit of Durgabai Deshmukh Mahila Sabha. And we have been organizing many webinars since 2 years on various aspects of management. And this is one initiative to benefit the students. As many of you are going to work for technology-based companies tomorrow. This issue of e-waste, this bothers both at micro level and macro level. At micro level, think about our houses, which are almost flooded with electronic gadgets. At the macro level, that is at the global level too. The developed countries, they are dumping the e-waste onto the developing countries, right? Whatever it may be, at whatever the level of magnitude, the disposal of wastage, e-wastage, is a major concern with the fast changing technologies. So there comes many challenges which are to be addressed by the users at either micro or macro level. Companies have to focus on redesigning their policies while going towards the digital world of work. So I'm happy that today we have an environment consultant, Ms. Rashmi ji, with us to discuss about all those nuances of e-waste management. Thank you, madam, for kindly accepting my invitation. You're very humble. I welcome you, madam, once again. I expect the students to have great interaction today with the speaker after the session. I welcome all the participants once again. Now I hand over the session to Vaishnavi. Please proceed, ma.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request T. Samiksha of MBA second year to introduce our speaker, Ms. Rashmi Joshi ma'am.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. A very good morning to everyone. This is Samiksha of MBA second year. It's my privilege to introduce today's guest speaker, Ms. Rashmi Joshi. Ms. Rashmi Joshi is an environment consultant for last 10 years with a special focus on composting, e-waste collection rights, seed ball making, and kitchen gardening. She has done her master's in Greek philosophy and has worked as lecturer at Ruparal Junior College, Kalasa Degree College, Government Law College, and Mumbai University. She has organized e-waste collection drives in 40 colleges, 25 schools, and 50 residential colonies of Mumbai, Thane, and Navi Mumbai, and collected around 20 tons of e-waste and its disposal for scientific recycling. She has conducted around 2,000 plus awareness lectures on solid waste management in various educational institutions, housing societies, and other institutions. Created awareness on radio and television through various interviews on All India Radio, DD Sahyadri, Sakhi Sahyadri, etc. Maharashtra Times, Hindustan Times, and many newspapers have published articles on her work. She was appointed by Maharashtra government as NGO member on the evaluation team of Swachh Bharat mission. She has also participated in other social activities by helping 5,000 needy people with food, 50 malnutrition tribal children with nutritional diet, and created awareness about the importance of Ayurveda and homeopathy and helped many people during the pandemic. She was felicitated by Thane Municipal Corporation from North Ward of MCGM. She has received many awards: Nari Swashakti Puraskar Award, Guru Nanak College Award, Prasar Bharati Award for work in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Corona Warrior Awards from four organizations, Mahila Samaj Bhushan Puraskar 2021, to name a few. Thank you.
Thank you, Samiksha. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Uh, should I begin, ma'am? Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. I am extremely thankful and grateful to AMS School of Informatics Director Dr. K. Vijayalakshmi Madam, with whom I was in continuous coordination for the session. I am also thankful and grateful to all her team members, faculty, students, staff, and as I told Madam, it is really my honor and pleasure uh, to be associated with a prestigious institution like AMS School of Informatics, and I hope to have long associations with you for various environmental projects and activities. Uh, is my presentation getting shared?
No, ma'am.
Now it is getting shared.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
It is visible, na? Uh, Corona pandemic has really been an eye opener for all of us, isn't it? It has changed our lifestyle. It has also made some positive changes also in our lifestyle. That is, we have become aware about how sanitization, how wearing of masks, how keeping social distancing, how consuming of nutritious food that is taking care of our health also is important. And the pandemic has taken place because it is actually due to see when our immune power goes down, when our immune system is affected, then we fall ill, and thus it affects our overall health, and when our health is affected, then we fall ill. So it is like a vicious cycle, and there are several reasons why we fall ill, and first and most important reason is environmental pollution is one of the most important reasons. And environmental pollution is due to various reasons, isn't it? Due to, say, vehicular smoke, due to industrial and factory pollution, due to uh, deforestation, and one of the most important reasons for environmental pollution is improper management of waste from our side. When waste is dumped openly on the dumping ground, or when waste is given in the mixed form, then uh, the environmental hazards or lot of environmental problems take place. And due to technological advancement, and due to also pandemic of due to this pandemic, all of almost all of us started using more and more electronic equipments, isn't it? Electronic gadgets. uh, and when we use any gadgets, when we use any equipment, it has a particular lifespan, isn't it? Say of maybe of 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, 5 years, like that, isn't it? After that they get damaged, and when it is either partially or fully damaged, then it is called as e-waste. So today's electronic or electrical gadgets can be tomorrow's waste, electronic waste. So what are the electronic or electrical gadgets that we are using, or what are electronic equipments? Any wire operated or battery operated gadget is called as electronic or electrical gadgets. For example, you can see in the picture washing machines, mobiles, irons, toasters, air conditioners, batteries, CDs and cassettes, wires, batteries, various type of batteries, that is pencil cells, bigger cells, also cassettes, then electronic toys, desktops, uh, even there may be more electronic and electrical equipments beyond the equipments that are shown in these charts. So any wire operated or battery operated device is electronic or electrical gadget. And when any or all of these gadgets are damaged, that is see some we many of us use headphones, earphones, isn't it? So they get damaged after a particular period of time, and then it is called as waste, e-waste. Or same with other electronic and electrical gadgets. When they are either fully or partially damaged, they are called as e-waste. Now, from where, from how many places or where we get e-waste? So it is waste is generated from data processing, such as computers or monitors, speakers, keyboards. Then we also use electronic devices or used for entertainment like TV, DVDs, CD players. Then we also use equipment or devices for communication like phones, landline phones, fax machine. Then we use equipments for households such as vacuum cleaner, microwave ovens, washing machines, ACs. Then for audio visual components such as VCR, stereo type equipments, etc. So there are different sources from where e-waste gets generated. That is from our house, from our place of work, from different communication devices. Whenever we say e-waste, so what is exactly e-waste? It is the term uses triple E, that is waste, electrical and electronic equipment. That is whenever the equipment such as home appliances or USB sticks, Walkman, other communication devices, they are damaged. Either they are fully damaged or sometimes their peripherals, some parts inside the devices get damaged. It is called as e-waste. Many times obsolete e-waste also is there. Many a times we have obsolete e-waste. So what is obsolete e-waste? For example, see, suppose I'm using currently this mobile phone. Now, if the technology gets advanced and this the phone which is I'm using currently is in very good condition, but I'm keeping it aside just because the technology has advanced. It becomes obsolete. Obsolete is it is in very good working conditions, but since the technology is advanced, that's why I am not using. You can see the slides. Now, what is e-waste? This is you are able to see the slide. What is e-waste? It is visible, no presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Then, when we say electronic waste or electronic equipments, what are the components of electronic equipments? There are e-waste may be divided into broadly 6 categories. That is, you can take any unit of electronic equipment. For example, say if you take computer or whole unit of computer. Let us take the example of whole unit of computer, that is monitor, CPU, keyboard, mouse. So it contains glass, then plastic, then metals such as iron, steel, then non-ferrous metals also. Then it has other electronic components, and plastic also is used as casing in cables. Then for circuit boards, for different type of electronic equipment, different type of material is used. Sometimes we also find rubber, wood, ceramic, etc. In other electronic equipment. So electronic equipments contain different types of materials, raw materials. So then how this become e-waste? First reason is advancement in technology. I gave you the example of mobile phone. Especially younger generation always keeps on changing mobile phone because of the advancement in technology. Then we also keep on changing mm, electronic items because of changes in style, fashion, and status. Then third reason is nearing the end of their useful life. That is, sometimes it so happens that the equipment gets fully damaged. It is beyond any repair. So then also it becomes e-waste. And many a times, for example, say suppose I am using this phone and I am not taking proper precaution while using it. That is, it falls down many a times because of my mistake. I am not handling it properly. So suppose it has a life of say 3 years or 5 years, but because I am not handling it properly, it is damaged within a year's time, or after 6 months it gets damaged. So there are different reasons due to which the electronic or electrical equipments, gadgets that we are using, that they turn or that they become e-waste. Now this is the most important slide, as I can say that this is the about to. There are total 4 pictures. The 2 pictures on the top are the pictures of dumping ground. See, unfortunately, um, uh, we are dumping all the e-waste, all the waste, not only e-waste, all the waste. That is, for example, say food waste, plastic waste, paper waste. Along with that, we also dump our damaged earphone, uh, damaged chargers, wires, sometimes small pencil cells, etc. in one dustbin only. Many a times, or even after the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has been declared, still also segregation of waste into dry waste, wet waste, and biomedical hazardous waste. Ideally, waste should be segregated in 3 types. That is, dry waste, that is plastic, paper, metal, glass, in one dustbin. Then wet waste, such as food waste, or leaves, garden waste, in one dustbin. And biomedical hazardous waste such as sanitary napkins, diapers, or injection syringe, cotton bandage, etc. in third dustbin. And electronic waste needs to be kept completely separately at our home. I will let you know the reason very shortly. But unfortunately, everything together is going to the dumping ground. You can see with the help of municipal vehicles, or with the help of these machines, it is dumped on the dumping ground. Uh, what happens is, see, earlier also, during ancient times also, waste used to dump, but it was dumped outside the village, outskirts of the village, isn't it? But now what has happened is, due to population increase, everywhere people are staying, isn't it? There is no separate or a secluded place where there is no population at all. Everywhere people are
Ma'am, we are unable to hear you, ma'am.
Shravya?
Ma'am, I think she got disconnected, ma'am.
I see.
Rashmi ma'am has left the meeting.
Okay, I'll talk to her. She's not lifting the call. Maybe she has kept it in silent mode.
We'll wait and see, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
I think I lost my connection. No.
Yes, ma'am. Now we can hear you. We can hear you, ma'am. You can carry on.
The slide is visible of dumping ground, or dumping ground pictures are visible.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam, visible.
So when the waste is dumped openly, or electronic waste is one of the most dangerous type of waste which reaches to the dumping ground, and due to which there is gases other than oxygen are released in the atmosphere. And in corona pandemic we have experienced how due to shortage of oxygen people have suffered. Some people had to sacrifice their lives also, isn't it? So it is extremely important that especially electronic waste does not reach to the dumping ground. So uh, air also is getting polluted, plus groundwater also is getting polluted because e-waste reaches to the dumping ground. Uh, you can see in the top two pictures, and see what happens is on the earth we have limited land, isn't it? the land does not increase. So the land which we are using for dumping waste, if that we could send for recycling, that would be a very good step from our side, very good initiative from our side, so that there would be less environmental pollution. In the pictures down also you can see how cables, other parts of electronic items are disposed or thrown on the dumping ground. The current situation in India is Mumbai tops list. You can see how much tons. 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So you can multiply and see Mumbai is at the top list of e-waste generation. 11,000 tons, Delhi 9,000 tons, Bangalore 4,600, 4,000 plus tons, Chennai 4,000, Kolkata, Hyderabad comparatively less, isn't it? 2,833 tons, but this figure might have increased because many of us have started depending on or we have started using maximum electronic gadgets, especially mobile phones, computers, laptops, etc. Isn't it? Earlier picture I showed you was smaller items we dispose of on the dispose of in the dustbin. But what about bigger items? Bigger items such as, for example, say sometimes we if the TV gets damaged, we do it in the exchange policy, that is exchanging older TV for new TV. But other sometimes it so happens that other equipment such as, for example, say CPU or computer or many a times old TV, a refrigerator gets damaged, we hand it over to unscientific recycling, that is we hand it over to scrap dealer, kabadi wala, etc. And then he pays some say 200, 300, 500 for that. That is we hand it over to scrap dealers, local scrap dealers, which are doing the they are actually not doing recycling, they are unscientifically processing the electronic waste unscientifically. So what happens is they collect from us bigger items, they collect from us, then they have godowns like this in which they store the collected waste. uh, when the waste is when the waste is accumulated in sufficient quantity, very good quantity, what happens is they uh, take all the waste to open ground, open ground, जहाँ पे एकदम अच्छी जगह रहती, open ground they take and see sometimes in which part of e-waste they are interested. Scrap dealers is in the metal part, and other parts they literally throw. Once they get metal from it, other parts they throw. Sometimes what happens is just by dismantling the metals come out, but sometimes only by dismantling the metals do not come out. The electronic item, waste item needs to be burnt, then only metal comes out. So what happens is they take it to the open ground and they burn e-waste. And when the e-waste is burned, then metal comes out. But what happens is there is huge environmental pollution, lot of harmful or and toxic gas. Even see, e-waste items also contain plastic, and burning of plastic produces dioxins, which cause reproductive and developmental problems. Immune system also gets damaged, and there is a change in our regular hormonal cycle also. There are lot of damages that take place. See, and when they are burning this e-waste, uh, see, solid object remains at one place, but air spreads everywhere, isn't it? As per the principle of diffusion of air, air spreads everywhere. So people staying nearby that area where the e-waste is getting burned, they are also inhaling harmful or toxic gases. And you can imagine that when harmful toxic gases are inhaled through inhalation, it reaches to all the parts of our body, isn't it? First, it will affect lungs, isn't it? Then it will affect other parts, that is heart, liver, kidneys, digestive system. So, hence, handing over e-waste to scrap dealers also is extremely dangerous. Hence, see what are other hazards of e-waste? Uh, any type of e-waste contains a lot of toxic chemicals, and burning releases dangerous toxins directly into the atmosphere, which is harmful for us also, for animal life also, as well as it will affect plant also, isn't it? Because plants also have a life, and all these residues of harmful gases, they also affect plants, they affect soil also. Then landfill also, that is open dumping ground, also has lot of hazards that take place on the landfill. Then leachates also leak into the soil, and it affects groundwater as well as surface water also. Plus, during heavy rainfall, when at some places farmers are growing fruits, vegetables, isn't it? Sometimes medicinal plants. That waste or that dirty water is mixed with vegetables, fruits, or medicinal plants also. So all our food, water, and air, everything is getting polluted only and only because of improper uh, management of e-waste from our side, isn't it? We are only responsible because we are disposing it either in dustbin or hand it over to scrap dealer. Then plastic casings, isn't it? See, PVC cables have plastic casings, isn't it? Cables and polyvinyl PVC cables. They have, they release highly toxic dioxins and furans when burned. Uh, See, either poisonous residue is either left on the landfills or in the air, and it is increasing global warming due to, see, carbon dioxide is produced in larger quantities, and see, carbon dioxide already is not required for us, hence we are exhaling out. But if more production of carbon, if more CO2 production is there, you can imagine how it will endanger our health, because we need oxygen, isn't it? For our immune system to remain strong, for all our healthy bodily functions, we need oxygen on daily basis, and sufficient quantity of oxygen, isn't it? Then air, water, and soil contamination or pollution is there due to burning of electronic waste or dumping, that is sending of e-waste from our side to landfills. Then uh, there are also health hazards due to unauthorized recycling method. Unauthorized recycling method means, since we are handing over it to kabadi wala or scrap dealer for unscientific way of recycling, hence it is creating lot of health hazards. Plus, there are radioactive contamination also is there due to open dumping of e-waste. Radioactive contamination is extremely dangerous for our health as well as for our environment. So uh, now I told you okay, there are a lot of health and environment hazards. How it actually affects our health? See, as far as chip resistors and semiconductors contain cadmium, Cadmium is found in resistors and semiconductors, and um, cadmium takes to accumulate in our kidneys, liver. Now you may think how cadmium reaches to our body, or how other uh, toxic chemicals reach our body. I told you that either due to inhalation of toxic air, or due to drinking of water. See, every day very few of us drink boiled water every day, isn't it? Every day we just drink water from filter or aquaguard, etc. Only and only when we are ill, suffering from say fever or indigestion, then only we drink boiled water. But otherwise we drink ordinary water, isn't it? But unless and until water is boiled beyond 100 degrees, it doesn't evaporate all the pollutants. So in this way, cadmium is either entering through water or even food, isn't it? Fruits and vegetables also may contain dirty water from the uh, e-waste which is disposed on the dumping ground. So in this way, cadmium enters and it affects our liver, kidney. Plus, it affects our neural system also, as well as it is carcinogenic. That is, it may lead to cancer or TB. Sometimes TB also. You can see due to mercury. Say pencil cells or any type of batteries. Battery cells contain lead and mercury. And if the battery cells take fire, catch fire on the dumping ground, or they leach it, lead and mercury comes out, and it is mercury is also found in relays, switches, printed circuit boards, etc. And mercury is extremely poisonous. It causes brain damage. It also causes respiratory as well as skin disorders also. Small children also actually small children have a very delicate immune system, isn't it? But they are also falling ill because of environmental pollution, and they are also suffering from cancer. See, many a times earlier the ratio of cancer was out of 10 people, one person used to be detected uh, of cancer. But now the ratio has changed. Out of 10 people, 9 people are suffering from some or the other type of cancer. Even small children also are suffering from various types of cancer, such as blood cancer or other types of cancer. And this is simply and simply because of improper management of electronic waste from our side. It also lead also damages our kidney. It also affects the brain development of children. It is extremely dangerous. Mercury and lead pollution is extremely dangerous. Then you can see in the picture, due to beryllium. Beryllium is found in motherboards. It also causes lung cancer. It is then inhalation of fumes. I told you, when it is burnt openly, then the fumes that are released in the atmosphere, through inhalation it reaches to our lungs and different parts of our body. Our organs are extremely delicate, and in this way it affects our immune system also, and it causes various types of diseases, skin disease such as warts. You can see that the covering of nail has completely been removed, isn't it? This picture I already showed you what due to openly burning of e-waste from scrap dealers. All these dangerous diseases or all these health hazards are taking place. Then uh, lots of and hundreds of toxins. Now we feel that "Arey, this is only small earphone, this is a small headphone," but outer layer is of plastic, but inside all the chemicals are extremely toxic. Uh, that is, even a smaller electronic waste item has hundreds of toxic chemicals inside them. So now this was the fact, or this is the situation. There are 65 cities in India that generate more than 60% of total waste, e-waste generated in India. Uh, 10 states are generating 70% of total e-waste generated in India. And Maharashtra ranks first, which is followed by Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal. So actually, this is I am putting forward the situation in India or different states in India, but actually speaking, e-waste is a global problem. We think that only our country has the problem of proper management of e-waste. No, it actually e-waste is a global issue. Everyone, each and every country is worried about the scientific disposal of e-waste. So as far as India is concerned, among top 10 cities, Mumbai ranks first, followed by Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Pune, Surat, and Nagpur. This is the hierarchical order of e-waste generating cities in India. Uh, Actually, e-waste also can be managed in a very well way, and if e-waste is managed very well, then we will have a lot of changes, positive changes, as far as environmental conservation is concerned. Then the question is what we can do. See, we cannot say that, oh, then shall we stop using technological equipments or electronic equipments? No, actually, because of technological evolution, we are able to meet today, isn't it? Or all of your lectures, all your academics could be continued because of technological evolution, isn't it? So technological, scientific and technological progress or invention of new technological gadgets is extremely important. It is, but the amount of e-waste also will increase, isn't it? Because every gadget has a particular lifespan, so it is bound to get damaged. But we need to balance environmental cleanliness or environmental purity also, isn't it? If gases other than oxygen are getting produced in more quantity and the level of oxygen decreases, then also it will be a problematic situation as far as our survival is concerned, isn't it? Our survival and healthy survival is extremely important. Hence, uh, before the proportion of e-waste increases, we need to act, all of us need to act together. So as we say that every problem has a solution. So this is the problem, this is the situation. Now it is our duty how we can overcome this problem or how we can overcome this situation. The thing is that 95%, huh? More than 95% of e-waste is going for unscientific recycling. Only 5% of e-waste is reaching for scientific recycling. First and most important is awareness needs to be increased, isn't it? Once people are aware I am 100% sure that they will not dispose of the smaller items in dustbin, or they will not even hand over bigger items to scrap dealer. Because suppose if I hand over, for example, say if I hand over my old refrigerator to the scrap dealer, and if I bargain, suppose he says that I will give 500, then if I bargain and if I request him to pay 1,000 rupees, okay, then he agrees not to pay 1,000, say 700 or 800. Then I receive that 700 and 800. But if he takes that refrigerator on the open dumping ground for taking out the metal from it, the fumes reach even to me. Suppose he takes the open ground which is nearby to my area. After inhalation of toxic fumes, I fall ill, and money that I will have to pay for all the treatment, medical treatment, will be double, triple, or even 4 times more than whatever I have received after bargaining for uh, refrigerator, old refrigerator, isn't it? Hence, it is always best that we keep bigger items of e-waste at our home separately, and we hand it over only and only for scientific recycling. It is we hand over it for government approved scientific recycling. Um, that would be a very good step. Uh, since last many years, I am conducting e-waste collection drives in various colleges. Actually, we are organizing e-waste collection drives pan India, from all over India. We are organizing collection drives. So you can observe in the picture e-waste items such as CPUs, monitors, cables, chargers. This is Viscop Chembur, that is Vivekananda Education Society's College of Pharmacy in Chembur. They have handed over. Then Guru Nanak College at Sai Mumbai. Then BS College of Arts, Science and Commerce. College at Ambernath. Uh, Actually, college is handing over their own departmental electronic waste, plus whenever there used to be electronic waste collection drives, at that time even students, faculty, staff, they are also bringing e-waste from their home. This is college at Chembur. This is one of the charitable organizations at Mahalakshmi. You can keep all the old e-waste items. Then this is a college at Bandu, then Somaya College. So in this way, uh, you can keep damaged electronic items from your home in one of the corners at your house, isn't it? And see, e-waste does, even if you keep e-waste items at your home for, say, for the period of 2 months, 3 months, or even for the period of one year, it does not give any stink. It does not give any foul smell, isn't it? If you start accumulating food waste at your home, then it will start stinking. But e-waste does not give any foul smell, isn't it? So you can keep it at your home, and whenever it needs to be handed over, only and only there is a collection of e-waste for scientific recycling. So our mission is to protect the environment through structured and safe recycling, and disposal of electronic waste needs to be uh, done in environmentally sound way by employing state-of-the-art technology and reliable, efficient, and cost-effective solutions. It needs to be handed over only and only to government-approved scientific recycling, which is authorized by Central Pollution Control Board. Now you may say that, okay, scrap dealers are burning openly, isn't it? You have seen in the earlier picture how they are burning it openly. Uh, in this picture you saw, has he worn any protective uniform or equipments such as mask or helmet or gloves? Nothing, isn't it? He's just taking the e-waste and burning. Huh? So instead of that, if
Ma'am, I think you are stuck, ma'am. I think she'll join back in 2 minutes.
I think I got disconnected, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see the slide.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as metals are concerned, metals are found only after the excavation, isn't it? Inside the earth, but that takes lot of expenses, lot of cost is involved, then digging of the earth, etc. Instead of that, if e-waste is sent for recycling, then the metal recovery is easily possible, isn't it? Then you can see from 200 grams of 20 kilogram of computer, 20 kg of computer means which includes monitor, mouse, keyboard, whole unit of computer. uh, 200 grams can be recycled. Then when uh, 1 ton of computers are recycled, 3 to 5 tons of carbon dioxide emissions are prevented. That is, instead of that, if we hand over it to scrap dealers, then they will openly burn, isn't it? And then it will release the carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere. So instead of that, if the computers are given for scientific recycling, 3 to 5 tons, that is 3 to 5 tons means 3,000 to 5,000 kilos of carbon dioxide emissions reaching to the atmosphere are saved. E-waste comprises only 2% of global waste. See, which are the other type of waste that are getting generated in more quantity? Food waste is getting generated on daily basis. Plastic or paper waste is getting generated in more quantity. But as far as global waste is concerned, electronic waste is concerned, it is just 2%, but the toxins or poisonous chemicals they are releasing are 70%. So there is huge pollution because of electronic waste. So hence it is extremely important that we focus upon proper disposal of electronic waste. Then recent United Nations survey also has said that desktop computer monitor, etc., or standard monitor requires 240 kgs of fossil fuels. That is, say, if we whenever we want to manufacture a new thing, for example, say, let us take the example of paper. If paper recycling company wants to manufacture paper, then first they will have to go for tree cutting, then processing, then making paper pulp out of that. Instead of that, if the paper manufacturing company gets old paper from the people, then the recycling of paper saves a lot of energy, saves a lot of natural resources. In the same way, manufacturing of a new computer, production of new computer, monitor, etc., requires 240 kgs of fossil fuels. 240 kgs of fossil fuels, you can imagine. And it takes millions of years for the manufacturing of fossil fuels below the Earth's crust, isn't it? So instead of that, if the computer manufacturing company gets old computers, so they can redesign new computers all out of that. Then it also causes 22 kgs of chemicals and 1,500 liters of water. So much wastage of natural resources for the production of new computer unit. Hence, it is extremely important that we hand it over to recycling. So it is, Earth is our planet, isn't it? If our house, if we do not like one house, if we feel that I want to stay in another house, or I want to purchase new house, we can easily shift to new house. But as far as Earth or planet or living biodiversity is concerned, living is possible only and only on Earth, isn't it? And life has not yet been discovered on any other planets such as Mars, Moon. Experiments or inventions are going on, but life is possible only and only on Earth if our planet gets polluted, if more carbon emissions or more emissions of other gases than oxygen increase, then our future uh, generation will be suffering a lot, isn't it? So uh, our planet needs to look like green planet, isn't it? Green or blue planet instead of red, isn't it? Red will be pollution or smoke or other release of other gases or other pollutants. The choice is ours. There are also strict government rules also for e-waste, which were implemented from 1st May 2012, that it is illegal to sell our electronic scrap to uh, scrap dealers or kabadi wala. It needs to be, it is actually illegal. Then producers, those who are producing electronic items, such as say those who are producing uh, televisions, or those who are producing, that is manufacturing other electronic equipments, uh, they need to give information on hazards of improper handling of e-waste after use. But do we experience those things? Where, for example, when we go to purchase any new electronic equipment, for example, say if we want to purchase new television, new say refrigerator, do the producers inform us? Do the producers give us knowledge about what to do after the electronic item gets damaged? No, they give us information about how efficient the equipment is, how beneficial it is, isn't it? How it will uh, save electricity, how it will benefit, how it will function very nicely. They do not give us information about after the equipment gets damaged, how to hand it over for recycling. No, isn't it? Then environmentally sound system, for example, say e-waste recycling unit also involves establishment of lot of cost also is involved, isn't it? Because they it needs to be the facility needs to have staff for recycling. Then it needs to be a huge facility, because collected e-waste will be brought. Then separation, dismantling, treatment, all this requires a huge investment, cost investment also. And as far as sound management of e-waste is concerned, then bulk consumers, that is wherever e-waste, wherever electronic items are used in huge quantity. For example, say IT industries, or sometimes educational institutions also have IT labs, isn't it? From where e-waste gets generated. So all of them, all bulk consumers, enterprises, other institutions are responsible as far as proper scientific disposal of e-waste is concerned. Then EPR also is extremely important. EPR is extended producers responsibility. That is, those who are producing e-waste, they need to dispose it through authorized e-waste recycle. Handing it over to authorized e-waste recycler is extremely important. Now you may think that, okay, we are handing it over to authorized e-waste recycler. So what are the steps that are involved in e-waste recycling process? First is collection. That is, supposed from your institution we are collecting. Then first is collection from your institution, or pickup from your institution. Second step is sometimes CPUs or sometimes even mobiles are given along with the hard drive. So first and most important step, sorry, second and most important step is data destruction. All the previously recorded data will be destroyed in the eco-friendly manner. third step is refurbishing. Refurbishing is, for example, say if one let us take one example of any of the electronic equipment. For example, say CPU or television. If some parts are working in the because once it reaches to the recycling facility after data destruction, then dismantling is done. That is, parts are separated of electronic gadget, and then if some parts are working, those parts are taken out, and then those parts which are in working condition, they are taken out separately, and if they can be used in some other gadget, then there is manual dismantling and sorting. That is electronic waste. For example, say CPU, a whole unit of computer. So from CPU, metal or tin is separated. Then from keyboard or mouse, plastic is separated, wires are separated, metals are separated. In this way, sorting is done. Plastic is put in a separate container, glass is put in a separate container. In this way, sorting and dismantling is done. Then there is a separation. Non-working parts are separated. Then there is material recovery, that is eco-friendly separation. Hazardous waste disposal is concerned. Since e-waste, electronic items already has lot of toxic chemicals, so e-waste is bound to have, even though it is recycled in a scientific recycling unit, it is bound to release harmful gases. Once gases are released, outlet needs to be given either in the air or in water. So as far as scientific recycling of e-waste is concerned, after harmful gases are released, burning is done in the furnaces. As far as e-waste, scientific recycling of e-waste is concerned, and harmful gases are first neutralized. Once harmful gases are released, they are neutralized, and then they are released in the water, so that even water life such as fish, turtles, other water animals also do not get any dangers of because of the disposal, because the gases are already neutralized first and then they are sent into the water, sea water or river water, etc. So this is the facility. First is there is air compressor, then a reaction vessel, then cyclone separator. In this way, step by step, the recycling takes place. One example has been given as far as circuit board is concerned, how tin metal is separated, then tin or lead recovery system, then lead is separated, then manual segregation. So in this way, step by step, recycling of each and every type of electronic item is done. Then after the during recycling process, effluent treatment. Effluent is pollutants that are released. As I told you, they are neutralized. So how they are neutralized? So there is effluent treatment plant. It is called as PET, primary effluent treatment plant. There is neutralization vessel. Then all the steps are taken. Chemicals are mixed. Then there is settling tank. Sludge comes out after the neutralization, and in this way there is a fully scientific treatment is done on e-waste things. This is the picture of primary effluent treatment plant, and after that it is drained out in the sea water. So in this way, please don't e-waste your electronics, or please don't dispose your e-waste in the dustbin or to the scrap dealers. Please hand it over for scientific recycling. It needs e-waste is a synopsis of our session is e-waste is electronic waste, it needs to be handed over for recycling. As far as India is concerned, only 12.5% of e-waste is recycled. As far as whole world is concerned, China produces maximum e-waste. Then lead, mercury, cadmium, barium, beryllium are the hazardous chemicals that are found in e-waste. Neon is not found in e-waste, and cadmium is the hazardous pollutant which is released from batteries. So, uh, conclusion of today's session is reduce uh, e-waste, reuse as far as possible, and after see if the gadget is damaged partially, it can be repaired and it can be reused, and after the reuse, you can send it for recycling. So after recycling, recovery is done of the metals, etc. So is equal to zero landfill. That is, as far as possible from our side, we will take a pledge that we will not send electronic waste to the landfill or to the dumping ground. So thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity for today's session, and uh, I would like to have questions from your side. I hope the session was satisfactory. I have tried to include as much details as possible.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
yeah, I'm again extremely thankful to the director, Madam Dr. K. Vijayalakshmi, Madam of AMS School of Informatics, all the uh, faculty, all the student, my dear students, and other team members for today's session. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. What are the safety measures that we should take to reduce e-waste? Na? Yes, very good question. Actually, if we can handle if we can handle electronic equipments very carefully, that is, as far as, for example, our phone is concerned, it falls down many a times, or many a times water also uh, is disposed of on the phone unknowingly. So if we take proper care of electronic equipments, and especially if it is a 3-pin plug device, 3-pin plug device, such as if we are operating computer or TV or washing machine or mixer, if it is a 3-pin plug device, if we can unplug, if we can unplug the device after the use, if we unplug, then it will give very good result, or it will function for more uh, duration. Then next question is, what is environmental impact, na, if electronics are not disposed correctly? Yes, environmental impacts I already elaborated in a detailed way, that if electronics are not disposed correctly, that is unknowingly, if we dispose electronics in the dustbin, then it reaches to the landfill, and on landfill it quickly catches the fire, and uh, any type of e-waste has lot of pollutants, lot of harmful chemicals inside them, which lead to through respiration we inhale, and it leads to lot of health and environmental hazards. How to dispose e-waste is handing it over only and only for scientific recycling. That is, you can start collecting e-waste at your home, and then plus you can make others in your contact aware regarding the hazards of e-waste, and you can request them not to throw even a small item in the dustbin, or not to hand over bigger items to the scrap dealers, but we will have e-waste collection drive from your institution. At that time, once your uh, organization authority, your institution authority announces a particular date or announces a particular week, in that week you can bring your e-waste and hand it over to the institution, and then we can give a nice certificate to the institution also, how you have sent your e-waste and for responsible recycling of e-waste, and it is government approved recycling facility. What is the principle of EPR? EPR is extended producer's responsibility. Extended producer's responsibility is those who are into the manufacturing of electronic items, such as, for example, say TV manufacturing unit, or computer manufacturing unit, or refrigerator manufacturing unit. It is the responsibility of producers that when the equipments are produced and when they are selling it to the consumers, then they make the consumers aware about the hazards after the use of the electronic equipment is complete, or once the particular equipment turns into e-waste, then what are the steps or how it needs to be disposed of carefully. E-waste recycling, unscientific e-waste recycling is harmful for the environment. Scientific recycling is not harmful for the environment. Hence, e-waste needs to be given to the scientific recycling. If it is burnt openly, if it is dumped openly, then it is harmful for the environment. And as far as disposal of e-waste is concerned, it needs to be handed over only and only for scientific recycling. Any other questions which I have left, which I have missed, which I have not answered?
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. You have let out all various methods, how exactly we have to take care of the e-waste, either at our household level or at the corporate level. But my major question, what actually bothers or I want to know is at the country level, as I mentioned in the welcome address, developed countries are dumping onto developing countries like Ghana kind of countries. Right, we are facing a lot of threat with respect to dumping. Our countries have become dumping yards. So that is really major threat for the total survival of the people on that particular country. So what best, because it is at the macro level, a threat at the macro level. So how a country, but at the macro level, country can is restricting, a particular country can restrict, or what can be done in that direction?
Very good question. Actually, I did not include in the I did not include this point in my presentation, because this is really the fact. This is really the one of the most dangerous situations that developed countries are. That is, developing countries are really becoming dump yards for. For developed countries, they are just dumping their e-waste, and they are getting free from their problem of e-waste pollution. But see, from our side, what we can do is we can help. We can reach out and help people for collection and sending it for scientific recycling. But as far as developed country is sending e-waste to our country. As far as this thing is concerned, it needs to be the question needs to be solved at the country administrative level, because from government level, because from our side, as far as managing of countries e-waste is concerned, yes, we can help out, but it when it is transferred from country to country, then it is the role of the uh, government, which is extremely important. So they
So
need
here I
some
request you,
policy.
being an activist, environment consultant, to put some pressure on the government with respect, like taking care about
Yes,
what policies, what amendments have to be made
yes.
in the policies.
What I mean,
Because
yes,
see, when
yes,
they burn that, see, for the heck of one copper string, people they
yes,
burn the wire, right? When they burn it,
yes,
no, that is environment pollution, creating a lot of
yes,
environment pollution.
yes, 100%.
So
Yes,
people like you have to put a lot
yes,
of pressure on the government.
yes. Yes, definitely, madam. We will try our level best, because what happens is policy implementation. As far as from country to country, one country to another country is concerned, it needs to be done at the government level. So yes, definitely we can at least do the request. We can send request letters, and we can try to convince them that how it is health hazard as well as environmental hazard as far as the disposal of e-waste is concerned, and definitely we will try to convince them.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really, you have given enough time for the students, whatever they could not actually come across till now. They understood about what exactly this e-waste and how it has to be managed at the individual level. Thank you so much.
One small question, madam. I'm sorry.
Yes,
My name is Ram Mohan. Thanks for a very nice lecture, sort of updating the whole lot of students
thank
about
you.
the necessity to look at the e-waste in the right sense of the term. One point that comes up to me is when you go to the malls, you do have organizations like Chroma, which collect e-waste today. I'm sure a lot of students are aware of it. And there is a counter wherein you can just give your e-waste to the particular counter. There are certain incentives also given to them, like for example, you can get a photograph and that photograph gets published. I think that probably is one way of getting into your own system, a method of doing the right things. In other words, it becomes a habit for you to do the right thing. It has to be an internally driven kind of an attitude that one needs to develop. E-waste disposal is as much a, it is definitely a responsibility on our part, proper disposal of e-waste. I think people need to be aware of the fact that there are entities which are doing it the right way. And, because what happens is when you drives like what you're doing, excellent drives, no doubt about it. But they're going to be once in a while. I think you need to rope in organizations like Amazon, for example. What happens is Amazon anyway delivers and also collects certain things. If you involve organizations like Amazon, they anyway go to a number of places to deliver things and also to collect some of the returns. Maybe you should make it a point to them that as just like you have corporate social responsibility, you also have a corporate social responsibility to ensure that you do not have e-waste thrown all around. This is a suggestion.
Okay. Actually, sir, there are certain very good suggestion from your side, but there are certain issues. Actually, we are organizing e-waste collection drives on a regular basis throughout the year. That is, in the institutions, e-waste collection bins or e-waste is collected in the boxes or in one of the storage rooms. And as far as other institutions are concerned, e-waste is one of the most hazardous type of waste, and it needs to be uh, it needs to reach only and only to government approved, that is Central Pollution Control Board approved recycling units. There are certain agencies which are collecting e-waste, but we need to be extremely careful that they are giving us certificate of government approved recycling unit. That is, whether the e-waste they are collecting are they handing it over to recycling unit, and are they giving us certificate of uh, the facility where they are sending the e-waste. That, because see, collection centers are at many places, but after we hand over our e-waste to them, then they are not giving us the certificate of responsible recycling unit certificate, which is approved by CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, or government approved recycling unit. That certificate is extremely essential and important. So whenever we are uh, handing over especially e-waste, because see, paper waste, plastic waste, that is okay, that will, when it will be collected, either it will be upcycled, that is some other thing will be made, or it will finally reach to recycling unit. But as far as e-waste is concerned, many a times such things happen that only collection is taken place, then we do not get any backup certificate, and ultimately they sell it to scrap dealers or unauthorized sector, unorganized sector. So for e-waste disposal is concerned, uh, e-waste can be collected throughout, and once it is accumulated in very good quantity, we can arrange the collection drives. And certificate is extremely important, certificate of responsible recycling.
Just
Only disposal is not
only one point, madam. I think
are the Chroma people giving you the certificate of
no,
responsible
I think
government?
No. Chroma, as you know, is a Tata's unit. You know that.
But are they
Okay.
giving the
No,
certificate of
forget about it. Certification, madam. No, I think
certificate is extremely
no,
important.
it's
Whether our e-waste is reaching to proper.
okay, ma'am. That's okay. That's okay. I think all that I'm trying to say is Chroma is a Tata's unit, and they have a very regular kind of a, they have in every outlet, they have a place wherein you can in fact take a photograph, and they give you, all right, they send you, thank you very much for having disposed whatever that item. All that happens automatically in the electronic format. Anyway, you can have a look at it. I mean, this is a suggestion to the students,
Yeah.
because they go to the malls hell of a lot, and when they go to these malls, they have, all that they have to do is probably whatever waste they're trying to dispose of in their dustbins, they can do that at the Chroma centers or some other centers which are there. They are well-defined centers. What to say? Because if you are going to take it on the shoulders of just a few people, it's going to be a humongous job. The job is humongous. It's a large job. And I think the best way is to probably train, like, for example, reliable I'm not saying all organizations. I think you should train reliable organizations to get into this particular mode of collecting it, and then dispose in the proper way. As you said, I fully take that point. It has to be done in a proper way, and not
Yeah.
in an improper way. I fully take that particular point.
True. And nowadays, sir, documentation is extremely important. Whatever that is activities that we are doing, so documentation, proper certificates, and hence, and e-waste is one of the dangerous types of waste. And hence, it is extremely important that where it has actually reached is extremely important. The documentation regarding that, and hence. Mm, as far as e-waste is concerned, we need to be very careful.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening lecture. Thank you for answering our questions. Now I request J. Tejasvi of MBA second year to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Good afternoon, all. It's my honor to propose vote of thanks on behalf of AMS School of Informatics. Thank you, Ms. Rashmi Joshi, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and joining us to share your valuable insights about e-waste management. Ma'am has explained in detail what is e-waste, its resources, components, reasons for e-waste, and the effects of improper management of e-waste. I can assure you from now onwards, we will take measures to separate e-waste from regular waste and avoid environmental pollution and protect ourselves and the planet. Ma'am, your speech was so thought-provoking. It really made us think. Thank you so much for such wonderful speech. I also thank Dr. C.V. Rammohan sir, who graced the occasion virtually. Lastly, I thank our Secretary, Sri Satyanarayana Rao sir, Director Professor K. Vijayalakshmi ma'am for their guidance and encouragement to organize such events, faculty for their constant support, and students for their active participation. Thank you all for being up with us this afternoon. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Tejasvi.
Yeah,
Now we
thank
come to
you.
the end of the session. Have a
Thank you,
good day.
Rashmi ji. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch.
Thank you. Thanks a lot again. I had a great time with all the students, all the faculties. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijayalakshmi.